Now this one, for you students, the slip was too heavy. And it was left in there too long, because I lied to the tutor about how long it had been in there, because I wanted to thicken mould. And then he forgot to pour the excess slip out as well. So, because the slip was in there so long, when he poured it out, it came away from the inside of the mould. And then I picked it up and brought it back here in my van. So it all came off from the inside. So rather than write it off, I shoved it all back into the mould, slooshed loads more slip around it and stuffed it full of uni. So I have no idea what this is going to look like. I suspect extremely deformed. So it's quite exciting.
So how long did you stay with the first one?
Because it's a three-part mould, and he did my back first and then the neck, the face bit, which is the bit that freaks everyone out, only about 20 minutes. So, and it was actually more pleasant than this one. Was a two-part alginate mould, and the alginate was revolting, because when that went on, it was like cold, slimy rubber that smelt of meat.
I see this is your piss head that I thought was actually much bigger.
It's actually not piss head, that is tea head.
Oh.
Health and safety and the fact that I didn't fill out a COHH form has meant that I've refrained from using any revolting materials in here. Now, whether or not they come apart.
Well, was that the same size jar?
It's about that size, yes. It's hard to tell on the video,
Yeah, it is.
but all my little test ones were that size. Now, the one that you saw come out when you were down at college the other day, in Neville's group. Yeah. That's the chin section. That one's under here as well, because I haven't finished fettling that. And that's, I'll show you that in a minute, 'cause it's a cleaner. It's like getting a durian out. Now, I may have left this too long. It's gone a bit hard. Okay, that's back here. So far. Now, this is the bit where I usually lose the ears. Yes. And the other two that I've done, I've actually had to remodel the ears completely because they so deformed because of the undercut in my ears. And that was the tricky bit when I actually took the plaster off. Because even though I was greased up to the max, there was a point at which it came out of my ears and they got stuck on my head. And I did have a moment's panic then, because I was about 2 millimeters away from my skin going, stop! So I nearly lost my ears getting that on. Mud rock, yes. The first ones I did were mud rock, and some of those moulages on the wall there were taken out, press moulded out the mud rock face mask. I think I'm going to lose the ears.
That's quite small.
Have you? I know, I really just want to yank it out. When I make, I've got one head that's in the kiln at the moment, which is reconstructed, and I'm going to use that to make another mould, but it will probably be a 4 or 5 part mould.
It's got the ear on it.
Is there?
What?
Hang on.
You've lost half the ear on it.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad considering that it all completely, you can see at the top here where it had fallen away from the mould and I shoved it back up again.
So this, do you put wigs on?
Oh, that was just for a laugh, that's my mum's. She doesn't know, she's not there. There we go. Well, what I might do is let that one breathe a little bit and model it up.
So you use different materials for each of them? This is slightly different.
Well, what I need is one good mould. Once I've got a good mould, I can make different materials out of them. basically, if I start using the plaster moulds, different materials, I won't be able to use it for clay. So I want to do a few more in clay. That's just plasticine, in case you're wondering. To try and get rid of the undercut, because the mould went right into my ears, and I couldn't cast it out. But what it should look like, failing the horrible accidents. And this one I'm going to be working on while I'm in here. And actually I brought this up here and then dropped it on my leg, so it's slightly squashed as well. This is slightly cleaner copy. And that's come out with the right consistency of slip and everything. But even that, you can see I do need to completely remodel the ears because there's so much of the undercut missing.
So how do you do that?
Well, I add bits in.
Do you have a picture of you in it?
Well, no, I've got it here, it's fairly good here on it.
Yeah.
Even your eyelashes, yeah.
It's actually,
Lines and everything.
I know, it's actually not as much detail as the first one I did, which was liquid plaster and mud rock. Ironically, the simplest one, if you look at the moulages on the wall, they have the most amazing detail. So I have to keep this one there.
Once you've got your perfect bust,
When I've got the perfect bust, then I can use that to make a gel flex mould, and that's the blue rubbery stuff. Once I've got a gel flex mould, I can cast anything in it, and then the mould will be flexible, so I can make solid heads, and the mould will flex off a bit, and then I can make my resin head for rats, and my bread head, and horse shit head, and all these different materials. And what I also don't have yet, thought that. What I don't have yet as well is the stop it. No, what I don't have yet is the jars. What I order is. I only got as far as bread head and fat head.
there's loads. You could have that. It's really good. I love it.
Well, then I need to get the jars, you see. And I haven't got these head-sized jars on order to put them in. But then I have the jars, the heads, full-size heads of jars. Yes.
And the police don't sell stuff like that.
I'll cover that one up. I might leave these out for a bit. Was that instructive? I think I'll switch the video off now. It hasn't switched itself off.
I like one of your hair.